Welcome back. In episode 2, we dug out for the footers and we framed up the footers. In today's video, we're gonna roll out the Fastfoot, get that set, and get all the footers poured. First thing I'm gonna do is address the fact that the footers vary drastically. I thought it would be like closer to like 2 inches, and we're at like 7 inches. There's a really high bump over there, and then here it's very low. Some of you guys mentioned that we could build it up, compact it. Too much work. Okay, I'm not doing that. We're gonna put Fastfoot in. We're gonna make them really thick in these corners, and that's just gonna have to be okay. We have our corners. We have our big old roll of it. 3 rolls. I'm gonna preface all of this by saying, I've never installed this. I've only watched it be installed. Fastfoot. Corners. Should all be relatively self-explanatory. This is the idea of the Fastfoot, right? They give you this. This is where you hold it on the line, like the depth that you need. And because I did a terrible job of excavating, the depth changes dramatically through the whole thing. So I'm going to have to figure that out for myself. The idea is you put that down and you staple it. I'm just gonna hold this down where it needs to be, and then staple. Nice little fold. And there's our sewn corner. So now that our corner is in, we're going to take our straight run and we are going to run it straight. You want about a 10-inch overlap. And because I'm not hopping out of this hole for the millionth time, I'm just going to overestimate how much 10 inches it actually is. We're going to go there. That's guaranteed. Guaranteed 10 inches. This is going well. Look, I can kneel down and I'm not getting dirty. Cut that. Cut that. I don't want people thinking that you don't want to get dirty. You don't want to get dirty. Just for the record, there are ways to do corners without getting the sewn corners. I like the sewn corners just because they're watertight, which is nice. And that's kind of the whole purpose of this. And it's faster. I'm gonna finish this up. I'll show you guys what this looks like when it's all done. We finished putting all of the Fastfoot in. Now I have to put rebar in here. Once the rebar is in, we will be able to call for an inspection. Now, in case this isn't incredibly obvious, this is not what I normally do. I usually hire this part out for your entertainment. I am doing it. I don't own a rebar bender, so I have to go buy one of those things. We are done with all of the footers. Kind of took a couple of days to do the rebar. I delayed in, and then I had to suspend the rebar. The reason why we have to suspend the rebar, county just wants to make sure that the rebar is in place before we pour, because it's very important that the rebar is in the center. Sometimes concrete contractors will lay out their grid on the ground, and then during the pour, they'll just pour up the rebar to suspend it in the slab. Now, that's totally fine. However, when it comes to footings, which is far more important, the county requires us to suspend it. The way I suspended it was maybe not how everybody suspends it, but I think I've seen this method. It just made sense in my head. But basically what I did is I put a screw on either side of the form. I attached a wire to one screw, and then I wrapped the wire around the first piece of rebar, pulled it up to where I wanted it, and then I wrapped it around the second piece of rebar, which is also where I wanted it, and then I strung that around the final screw on the opposite side. This yields a good result. This gets the job done. There might be faster ways, I'm not sure. This just made sense to me. That is everything with the footers. We will be back when we get the concrete trucks out here and we are ready to pour. In the footers, you see this rebar. So what we did is this action right here. So it's a 4-foot piece of bar, and we just bent the last 6 to 8 inches roughly. And as it's drying, we just push this into the concrete. And then when the concrete cures, it has this something to grab onto, and it keeps this from coming out. And it ties the ICF wall into the footer. All of this is one solid unit. Really strong, really durable. The other way I like to do it is drilling a hole and then epoxying in the rebar. Two things about that method. The reason why I like to do it is because you know where the wall is going to be and you can choose exactly where you drill it. With this, you have to kind of guess and hope for the best. And in some cases, if it's off, you have to cut it down and drill and epoxy it anyways. But the reason why we didn't do it, they're requiring third-party inspectors to inspect that process to make sure you're doing it right. It just seems logistically difficult, and so I figured we'd just get it done with. Guys, that's everything. Footers are done. In our next video, what we're gonna do, get the line snap and everything ready for setting ICF block, which is very exciting because we've put a lot of time and energy and money into this project, and right now it doesn't really look good. So I'm excited to see real visual progress being made, and I'm excited to show you guys that next process in the next video. See you in the next one.